Hi everyone, we're still learning about straight lines, right? There's a huge relationship between straight lines, points, and angles as well. So let's say you have a point and you have a straight line across that point, okay? And you have another straight line across that point, okay? Just make it be much better, right? Straight lines across that point. And that point, let me just take it to the side a little bit. And that point, let's say the angle between this line and this line is, they call it, like say, angle one, angle one, or rather, let's even go as far as naming this point and call it point A. So that you could say that this angle is A1, and this angle is A2, this angle is A3, this angle is A4, right? So there's a theorem that says it's a sum of angles around the point that equal to 360. So it says that the angles around the point is equal to 360. So angles around point sum to 360 degrees. So this is very important to note. If you have a point and an angle around that point sums to 360 degrees. Now what about if you have, still, you say you have a point and you have lines, okay? You have a point, I want to use black. You have a point and you have lines across that point. Okay, let's make it a close point. Let's call this point, I don't know, point B. And call this angle B1, B2, B3, B4. Okay. So the other relationship when you're having points is angles, vertical opposite angles are equal. What do I mean by that? I mean this angle is equal to this angle. So they are vertical opposites. So vertical opposite angles are equal, right? And this angle, it means it's equal to this angle. Vertical opposite angles are equal. So let's just write those notes down. So you say vertical opposite angles are equal. Okay, so that's what you know about the point, angles, and line. So just have a point, angle, and line, right? So if you go back into this to this one here, the first one that we're just doing here. So just to write this in a mathematical way, when you say angles around the point sum to 360 degrees, we really mean that A1 plus A2, so angle A1 plus angle A2. So this point you said is A, so angle A1 plus angle A2 plus angle A3 plus angle A4. They equal to 360 degrees, right? So when we say, for this second part, when you say vertical opposite angles are equal, what do we mean? We mean since you name this point as point B, you mean to say that point B1, which is this, is equal to point B3. And point B2, which is this, is equal to point B4. Why they are equal? Because these are vertical opposite angles. Vertical opposite angles. Vertical opposite angles are equal. Let me give you an example. Very nice example. Okay. Let's say you have, still in your exam you see something like this, and they ask you probably, or they tell you that this is an angle y, this is an angle x, this is an angle z, and they just give you 105, right? Just 105, and they say calculate x, y, z, right? So what do you do here? So with the information that I just showed to you, angles around the point equal to 360 degrees, vertical opposite angles are equal, sorry. So let's just apply that purest form of knowledge. So let's start applying this second part here. Vertical opposite angles are equal. What does it mean? It means that this angle and this angle are equal, right? So it means that x is equal to 105. So we know this is 105. Opposite angles are equal, okay? And we know that also opposite angles are equal, right? If opposite angles are equal, then we know that this and this angle and this angle are equal. And guess what? We also know that the sum of these angles is equal to 360 degrees. So let's apply that. The sum of these angles is equal to 360 degrees. So meaning x plus y plus z plus 105 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. Right? And x we know is 0.5 degrees. By the way, most of teachers, they want you to write the reasons, right? So I didn't write the reason here, I just mentioned the reason. But sometimes, or most of the time, depend on what syllabus you're using, but they'll ask you to write a reason, right? So let's write the reason just to be safe. For example, this one here, the first one for x equals 105. So the reason is opposite angles, vertical opposite angles are equal. So you just write vertical. You don't have to write the full name. Opposite. You don't have to write the full name as well. Angles. So that's the reason. Vertical opposite angles. Okay. So we're gonna do that culture of reasoning. So the second thing we said, x plus y plus z plus 105 degrees equal to 360 degrees. And what is the reason for this is the angles on the straight line, right? Angles, the angles on the point, they equal to 360 degrees. So angles around the point sum to 360 degrees. So you're gonna say angles around point. Okay, so that's your reason. Angles around the point. And then guess what? You know x, right? X is 105 degrees. And we don't know y, we don't know z. We have 105 equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so we can just say proven above. So proven, meaning we've already found it here. Okay, and now let's find y and z. Okay, so what is y and z? So this is y, this is z. So what's the relationship between the two? Remember, vertical opposite angles are equal, right? So the relationship between y and z is they are equal. And what is the reason? Vertical opposite, let's just opposite angle. Vertical opposite angles are equal. So y and z are equal. It's just one thing, right? So what you're gonna do is from here you're gonna say obviously you can group the like terms, 105 plus 101. So yeah, so let me just write this way. I don't want to confuse anybody. 105 plus y plus z. So y plus z is the same thing. Y is the same as z, and z is the same as y. So you can write y plus y. all right, because z can be y. 105, 360 degrees. Okay, so group the like terms. So you have 2y plus 105 plus 105, there's 210, 360 degrees. And then what do you have? You have 2y is equal to 360 degrees minus 210. Okay, so 360 degrees minus 210, your answer is 150 degrees. So 2y is equal to 150 degrees. So 2y is equal to 150 degrees. And you can divide by 2 on both sides because you're solving for y. So y is equal to 150 divided by 2. Your answer will be 75 degrees. And remember, we said y is equal to z. Therefore, z is equal to 75 as well. So this is how you apply this theorem of a straight line in a question like this. This is awesome.